Um, Texting has its limits, and if you're trying to tell a story, even though I text quite a bit, I'd much rather talk. And this story deserves talking, verbalization, rather than trying to tell it just in black and white. So anyway, yesterday was my birthday. I'm already laughing. I just hope I can do it justice, but I just was not. I don't think it's gonna come over. It just. I don't even know if I can even do it justice, like I say, but I'll attempt to. And it was just, I think like when things are funny to me, they must be funny because I don't know. I just find this very funny. So anyway, I just keep babbling, but I'll get to the story when I feel like it. So I would say this happened about trying to piece everything together about we'll just say 20 years ago, and this bar had opened up the street from where I live. It was called Goodfriends, and I think it had been open for about a year. It didn't stay open very long, but it had taken a place of this restaurant called 3J's. And I never went in there. I didn't like. I preferred the Pleasant. So anyway, this bar opened and the beers were like a buck a draft, and I mean to me that was awesome because I loved my beer and I loved draft beer in particular. Just when I'd work and I'd come out, and even if I wasn't working, I'd be there all day. But like I said, the beers were a buck, and I really liked that place a lot, and maybe a little too much. But even if you tipped a buck after every beer, you still were making out pretty decent compared to a lot of other places around there. And but that did create a lot of problems, and that's I think the reason that it didn't stay open very long was well, I kind of know, but I won't get into that here. But I did like the place. But there's a side note. One night, it was a big blizzard, and I will get to the story eventually. It was this big, huge blizzard, and I had met my brother, coincidentally coming home at Forest Hills, and he was still drinking at the time, I guess, apparently, and he hasn't drank in a long, long time, so that's why I say 20 years. And so we got off at the corner, and John goes, "Hey, why don't we go in here and ride out the storm?" So I'm like, okay, like I'd never been in there before because I always kept my drinking secret. And, and we walk in, and everybody goes, "Luke!" Like it was like Norm, but that never really happened with me, because I was kind of a quiet, for the most part, drinker. My brother just looks at me like, "What the fuck?" Like, I mean, he knew I was a drinker, but it was just funny that night. But anyway, so that's that story, and that was the only time, first and last time I ever had a beer with my brother. That's probably even better than this other story I'm going to tell. But so we go back to the birthday thing I was talking about. So I was telling this story last night. It was my birthday at the Red Sox game, and I don't know. Anyway, so back to the story. So it was I think it was a weekend, so I probably wasn't working, so I was probably up there pretty early, up at Goodfriends, and I had a good buzz going on, and um, there was this kid, and I won't mention really any names, but he was just like this annoying kid, and like he just had this cackle, and he would just drive you up the wall when you just wanted some peace and quiet, just wanted to relax and take the edge off of whatever was going on that day, and and anyway, so there was like typical. If anybody remembers that place, it was fun. People were talking and and laughing. And anyway, I think there was a guitar. It might have been one of my friends, Joey Ammo, might have been playing because I know remember those. It's hard to remember everything, in the past, especially when you're drinking. But it might have been Joey playing guitar in the corner, and there's some things you never forget. And like the scenario in my head plays out in my head, and like I can tell the kind of how I see the story playing out. Might be different if we actually had a tape of the whole incident. But I had my usual place where I would usually sit. My back would be to like the jukebox in the back of the bar, and we always joked about people driving by like because these big wide windows. and you were like somebody could like snipe because the projects was across the street. And back then, the projects was not like it is now. I mean, there's so much going on. You were like, God, there's gonna be like some sniper over there in a window just gonna take us all out. All these all these yuppie white kids from Roslyn, West Rocks, or whatever. Anyway, so back to the story. So I don't know, maybe Joey's playing something, or maybe yeah. So I'll just say it's Joey. You know, if you ever watch it, I won't even see it. They're playing guitar or whatever. So then the kid, it was probably about 10:30 or 11, and the kid walks into the bar, and he can do the voice. Like, I don't know if I can do the voice because he goes, "Duh, today's my birthday." He's just like this cackle because he was fucked up. So like, you remember like those old E.F. Hutton commercials where like all of like dead silence, like when E.F. Hutton says. So like it's quiet. It was like comical. It got all quiet. And the music stopped, and it was like this like 15-20 second delay, and we just glared at him. Nobody said a word, and then we just went like shrugged, went back to whatever they were doing. It was like a freeze frame, like the J. Kyle song. It was a big freeze frame, and then and then everything just went back to what was going on, and you just kind of staggered and all ego deflated and went to the into the bar to drown his sorrows. Nobody cared about his birthday, just like nobody cares about this fucked up story. So anyway, that's that, and adios.